I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The Mark Nelson and Derek Schilling on the front row. Tim St. Jean, Darrell Klotz on the second. Pete Norquay, Jerry Bergeron on the third row. Jess Chambers and James Lacey on the fourth row. Jeff Oakes, Mike Harris round out your top 10. Gerald Thanos Poole starting in 11th with Kevin Bruner in 12th. Kevin Hayes starts in 13th. Mike Burgess in 14th. Warren Moore starting in 15th. Clinton Chambers in 16th. Darrell Whitford starting in 17th, Jim Wardlow 18th, Andrew Forrester in 19th, Gil Guac in 20th, Kenny Passmore rounding out the 21-car field here at Circuit of the Americas. Mike Harris and Gerald Poole will be starting from pit road. Derek Schilling has been on the attack this last couple of weeks. It's going to be interesting to see. And it looks like several more drivers have chosen to start from pit road. Tim St. Jean in that group. That's a bit of a shock. James Lacey also choosing to go to pit road for the start of this one. They will have to make a pit stop somewhere between lap 10 and 12. Here we go toward the final turn. The Porsche pace car is on pit road. Down the front straightaway.
Here we go, green flag, boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
They fire and are away. Mark Nelson gets a perfect launch. It's going to be side by side. Here comes a swarm off of pit road. Wow, a lot of side by side action through turn one. Darrell Whitford has a problem. Pete Norquay picking up 3 spots now into second. Jess Chambers up 4 spots into third. Jeff Oakes into fourth. Oh, we've got cars sliding. Jess Chambers getting a little squirrely there. We forgot. Let's take a quick look. See if the track temperature, it is holding at 119. Still excessively hot. Jeff Oakes back on the attack. Now up 6 spots into third. Oakes is on the move. Mark Nelson leading him down the long back straightaway. A very sharp turn. Kevin Hayes has had a problem back behind. Hey, good evening, Martin. Good evening, Tim. Good luck tonight, buddy. Gil Guak and Kenny Passmore did not take to the track. James Lacey currently sits in 19th, having lost a lot of ground here in the early going. The Mark Nelson coming through the final turn to complete lap number 1. See what happened into turn 1 with Darrell Whitford. Oh, looks like he just had to come to a complete stop to avoid hitting the car on the outside. We also mentioned Kevin Hayes having a problem. Looks like at the far end of that long back straightaway. Just misses his braking point, and oh, a little contact there. Both drivers managed to make it through okay. Oh, a pass for the lead. Jeff Oakes is fighting. Jeff Oakes has been on fire here lately. Looks to the inside and may take the spot down the long straightaway. Oakes to the lead for the first time. Jeff Oakes came in tonight 5th in points. Definitely could be a huge point night for him. Tim St. Jean, Gerald Poole, and James Lacey have had a problem. There's Tim by himself, a little bit of balance. Oh, he just goes way wide. Then Gerald Poole, we saw look like he may have had some problems himself. Warren Moore just behind. Oh, a little contact. Thanos goes around. Actually ends up with the car straightened out a bit. And it looks like we've had a few other problems. Warren Moore, James Lacey. Oh, the track is hot and slick, as we have heard. Warren Moore just having problems getting the power down. What happened to James Lacey at the far end of the back straightaway? Lacey just overshoots the turn in a big, big way. And Gerald Poole had a problem a moment ago. The 48 also off in the grass. Oh, Gerald misses his braking point and snaps around. And Mike Harris has nowhere to go. Hey, good evening, Brian Hewitt. Gerald Thanos Poole has gone to pit road for repairs. Jeff Oakes, meanwhile, out front. Mark Nelson in second. Derek Schilling has set the fastest lap in 3rd place. Jess Chambers now up into 4th. Pete Norquay in 5th. Darrell Klotz 6th. Kevin Hayes up 6 spots now into 7th. Kevin Bruner up 4 spots into 8th. Clinton Chambers just quietly making up all the ground. He is up 7 spots into 9th. Jim Wardlow, Andrew Forrester have both gone to pit road. Jeff Oakes already pulling away. He's got a 4.2 second lead. He's got Schilling all over the back bumper, the top 2 in points, running 2nd and 3rd. Tim St. Jean came in tonight 4th in points, currently back 11th on track. 3rd in points, Kenny Passmore is not in the race, did not come out to play. Jeff Oakes just continuing to extend his lead. Jess Chambers back in 4th is starting to reel in Derek Schilling and Mark Nelson. He's going to bring Pete Norquay with him. Kevin Bruner in 8th, right on the back bumper of 7th place, Kevin Hayes. As they make that sharp turn and Bruner shoots underneath. Bruner now to 7th, up 5 spots. Hayes does have the advantage of the draft here. Will he be able to utilize it? Remember, the turn at the end of the straight is almost as sharp as the one on entry. Bruner able to hold him off for the moment. That did allow Clinton Chambers in 9th to close back up a little bit. Jerry Bergeron currently in 10th. Tim St. Jean in 11th. Warren Moore in 12th. Mike Harris 13th. Darrell Whitford right behind him in 14th. James Lacey now in 15th. Jim Wardlow, Andrew Forrester on pit road. It appears Gerald Thanos Poole out of the race. Mike Burgess still on pit road. If Burgess comes back out, he stands to pick up quite a few spots. Jeff Oakes is about a second a lap faster than the rest of the field at the moment. Mark Nelson, Derek Schilling still nose to tail. Jess Chambers about 3.3 seconds back. Pete Norquay closing the gap on Chambers. Darrell Klotz reeling in. He is faster than everybody but the leader right now. Darrell Klotz might be the sleeper in this one. Started at 4th, lost some ground in the early going, but already starting to make it back up. Andrew Forrester is on pit road awaiting repairs. A rough start to his night for sure. Several drivers still waiting on repairs as well. Does appear Gerald Poole is back in. Mike Burgess back in. James Lacey is back out on track now. It's definitely a very, very even. Jeff Oakes out front is sliding through parts of this track. We saw it when GT3 NSS was here. His track gets hot. It is greasy. Even in a GT3 car, you're sliding all over the place. But then you put a stock car out here with very little downforce, very little grip. and a lot of power to the rear wheels, things tend to get a little spicy out there. Darrell Klotz continuing to close in on Norquay and Chambers. Gerald Poole is back out on track. Jim Wardlow on his way back out as well. Andrew, I think you're good as long as you don't text and drive, buddy. Oaks continuing to lay down some extremely fast laps. Mark Nelson appears to have stepped it up. Derek Schilling staying on pace with him as they had started to close that gap back up a little bit. That didn't last long. We'll see at the end of the lap what the gap currently is. Currently about 4.25 seconds. Mark and Derek both sliding through that turn. That may be the best way through it at this point. Track temperature is going up as well. Now up to 120, that 119 that they practiced in. That was extremely hot anyway. Gerald Poole has had another problem. I've been watching Thanos race for quite a few years. I've never seen him struggle this much on a road course. Just gets it too woed up into that turn. Goes wide, lets Bruner by. Oaks at the top of the hill has a 4.5 second lead. Nelson and Schilling still nose to tail. Pete Norquay just about up to Jess Chambers, and Darrell Klotz right on both of them. Klotz still closing the gap. Bruner now up to 7th, about 20 seconds back. Kevin Hayes now up into 8th. Clinton Chambers still holding on to 9th. Tim St. Jean in 10th. Jerry Bergeron currently in 11th. Warren Moore 12th. Mike Harris in 13th. Darrell Whitford holds on to 14th. James Lacey in 15th. Jim Wardlow back out on track in 16th. Gerald Poole 17th. Andrew Forrester still waiting repairs in 18th. And Mike Burgess also waiting repairs in 19th. You can definitely see the tire tracks where these guys are sliding, and whoa, look at that drift. They are definitely sliding these cars around. I think they may have been misinformed that these are rally cars, not stock cars, the way they're sliding them today. David, nope, not so much. Kevin, yes, you are sick in the head, sir. But hey, Nowski is off next week, David, and the week after, there could be a very, 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 very big surprise. And David, if you want to get in on some iRacing action, check out our Facebook post earlier. We are giving away 5 iRacing memberships this year. As part of our MS Society fundraiser, donate $10 before 5 p.m. Eastern on the 29th. The drawing will be held live on the 29th for the first 2 iRacing memberships. Kevin, if I'm honest, I've known you're a little sick in the head for a while, buddy. In car with the leader. Oh, Jess Chambers and Pete Norquay appear to have had a problem. Mark Nelson appears to have had a problem. Mark, the points leader, held on to second. They were closing the gap on Jeff Oakes. Gets into that sharp turn, just goes around. What a save by Schilling. That got close. Looks like Jess Chambers and Pete Norquay both had incidents at the end of the long straight as well. Same incidents we have seen just about everybody have that problem, just overshooting the braking point. Oh no, the leader is in trouble. Jeff Oakes is off track. Derek Schilling gets by. Mark Nelson's closing in. The top 3 shaking up again. Jeff Oakes had a 6-second lead at one point. He is still sliding back behind. Let's take a look at Jeff's incident, see what happened. Looking down from the blimp, you gotta wonder if he got those tires a little too hot, used them up a little too much through the S's. Oh, he was already sliding. Gets on the brakes. Derek Schilling slips by. Mark Nelson has a run through the S's, able to get to the outside and take second back. So Derek Schilling now to the lead. Kevin, you're probably right. All that sliding has had a dramatic effect on Jeff Oakes' rear tires. We've seen everybody sliding a bit, but Oakes is just drifting it all the way around the track. Let's ride along. Oh no, Jeff is coming to pit road. Looks like they are within the window for fuel. Daryl Klotz is now back up into fourth. Likely about to take third. Pete Norquay now into fourth. Andrew Forrester, amongst all that chaos, did come back out on track. We've got a battle for third. Into the S's side by side. This is going to get sketchy. And Norquay pulls ahead for the moment. Daryl Klotz not ready to give that position up yet, though. He is all over him. Klotz on the attack on the high side. They're coming down to a sharp left-hander. Klotz cuts sharply to the inside, tries to get the run out. Has the draft that has allowed Jess Chambers to close back up a bit. Up over the hill. Klotz still right there with Norquay, just about 2.3 seconds back. Mark Nelson still holding on to second. Norquay in third, and Derek Schilling has a huge lead now. 6.1 seconds. Mark Nelson came into tonight with a 9-point lead over Derek Schilling. Schilling, if he can hold on out front, may shake it up. Mark Nelson to pit road. And Jess Chambers giving up fourth to come to pit road. Jeff Oakes is back out on track, currently scored in 6. He's going to pick a few up here. Let's ride along with Jeff Oakes for a lap and see, is he still playing the drifting game? Up the hill toward turn 1, downshifting hard. Back on the throttle, down into the S's. Cutting it as close to those yellow bumps at the apex without hitting them. Whoa, it gets a little squirrely on him. You can hear the tires begging for mercy. Jeff is not giving them a bit of mercy here tonight. Into the sharp left-hander onto the long back straightaway. Oh yeah, he is still drifting it. Jeff now back up into 4th place, continuing to set some extraordinarily fast laps here. Far into the straightaway, another little bit of a drift there. Looked like he got a little slidey on that one. Does look like he is taking a little bit more care of his this set of tires. Not seeing as much sliding as we were. Down toward the final 2 turns. And he is closing on the 3 cars ahead of him at the moment. Back down the straightaway across the start-finish line. And he just set the fastest lap of the night so far, 2:21.91. In fact, looking at lap times, he is the only driver under the 2:23 mark. Good luck, Tim. Clinton Chambers now on pit road, giving up 9th. Jeff Oaks in 4th just set the fastest lap of the race by almost 2 seconds. He ran a 2:21.91. The next fastest lap was Derek Schilling, a 2:23.52, as we've got a battle for second between Norquay and Klotz again. These two have been battling back and forth for several laps now. Norquay back into second place. Klotz right behind him. The top 3 have not been to pit road yet. Will that prove to be an advantage, stretching the tires and fuel to the limit, having the freshest tires on that short run to the finish? I have a feeling Jeff Oaks is you are right, Tim. Jeff Oaks just shot past Daryl Klotz to take 3rd. Derek Schilling is on pit road, gave up the lead. And Oaks has caught Norquay. Norquay is coming into pit road. Daryl Klotz and Derek Schilling all in. Jeff Oaks reclaims the lead with 8 laps to go. Mark Nelson comes by, reclaims 2nd. Derek Schilling on his way off pit road in 3rd. Kevin Bruner coming up the hill in 4th. Bruner has not been to pit road yet. Jeff Oaks is definitely putting on a clinic out here tonight. Kevin Hayes, Tim St. Jean on pit road. Only 3 drivers left to complete their pit stops. Currently in 4th place, Kevin Bruner. In 10th place, Warren Moore. And Daryl Whitford back in 14th as Mike Harris gives up 12th. He is on pit road. Gerald Poole back in 17th has had a rough race. Andrew Forrester back in 18th. Spent a lot of time on pit road getting repairs. Mike Burgess back on pit road as well. Daryl Whitford now in 14th. He has been quietly working his way forward all night. He is going to stay out another lap. Will Kevin Bruner in fourth come to pit road this time? No, Bruner stays out another lap. Mark Nelson in lap traffic trying to close the gap on Oaks. Oaks has already got a 6.3 second lead. Derek Schilling in third is closing in on the top two. He is definitely sliding it through the S's. Lap traffic coming into play for the leaders. That could be a huge deciding factor here tonight. Jerry Bergeron back in 12th, closing the gap on Warren Moore and Tim St. Jean, but will he have enough time? Clinton Chambers back in 9th place is laying down some fast laps and starting to gain some ground on the cars ahead as well. Kevin Bruner in 4th, Darrell Whitford in 14th, the only two that have not been in pit road. Jeff Oaks lead now 6.9 seconds over the Mark Nelson. Derek Schilling in third is closing in on Mark by a lot, now just 2.5 seconds back. Schilling has led a couple laps here tonight. Came in tonight second in points. He definitely wants to get past the points leader, Mark Nelson, before the end of this one. Jeff Oaks lead holding about 6 seconds. Now the question here is answered. Bruner is in. Jess Chambers now back into 4th. Pete Norquay gonna reclaim 5th here. Will he be able to run Chambers down? Klotz is coming back to pit road. Klotz was in 7th place, had been fighting his way forward, had an epic battle with Norquay earlier in the race. Norquay gets held up by lap traffic, and I have to say, watching the 28 take that bump, it does a lot better than a GT3 car does. We saw those bumps just a couple weeks ago when GT3 NSS was here send cars flying. Darrell Whitford managed to keep the car down, pointed the right way. Derek Schilling has caught Mark Nelson. Schilling has been on the hunt since that pit stop. Remember, he's passed Mark already once tonight. As they come down to 5 to go, Mark likely going to try and hold him off as best he can. 5 laps to go at COTA. Does Schilling have it here on the front stretch? He gets the power down quicker. And a big run as they go up the hill toward turn 1. Derek Schilling back to second. Mark Nelson in third. Jeff Oakes, though, loved that battle. He managed to gain another second, now 7.1 seconds ahead. Jess Chambers in fourth. Pete Norquay back in fifth. Kevin Bruner, after his pit stop, in sixth. Daryl Klotz in seventh. Kevin Hayes in eighth. Tim St. Jean in ninth. Clinton Chambers in 10th. Oh, James Lacey gets way loose coming out of the second to last turn. He had had an incident a moment before. Let's see what happened. Oh, just overshoots the turn. May have been letting the one of the lead lap cars by. Jeff Oakes back out front, and looks like he is still, yep, he's still drifting. You gotta wonder if Jeff Oakes' day job is some sort of drift champ. Four laps to go. Derek Schilling in second has now pulled a 2 1/4 second gap on the Mark Nelson in third. Jess Chambers currently running in fourth. Pete Norquay in fifth. Daryl Klotz in sixth. Kevin Bruner seventh. Kevin Hayes in eighth. Tim St. Jean in ninth. Clinton Chambers in 10th. Clinton Chambers actually the biggest mover of the night after starting. No, I take that back. He started in 16th. He's up to 10th. Jeff Oakes started in 9th and has the lead. But last time by, the fastest car was Daryl Klotz. Klotz back in 6th place, trying to run down Norquay once again. Jeff Oakes at the far end of the long back straightaway. A little bit of a drift once again. Daryl Whitford has gone to pit road. Let's see what happened. Whitford down in the final few turns of the track. Just has to slow it way down to get through the turns. May have used up his tires. And coming up the hill towards turn 1. Just completely overshot his braking point and pulls it over. Three laps to go for Jeff Oakes. Derek Schilling 7.1 seconds back in second, the Mark Nelson. Mark is starting to gain ground again on Schilling. Jess Chambers back in fourth. Pete Norquay in fifth is closing the gap. Now under 2.3 seconds and gaining ground quickly. Daryl Klotz back in sixth. Kevin Bruner now in seventh. Kevin Hayes in eighth. Tim St. Jean in ninth. Clinton Chambers holds 10th. Defending champ Jerry Bergeron back in 11th. Mike Harris in 12th. Warren Moore currently runs in 13th. James Lacey in 14th. Darrell Whitford out of the race. Jim Wardlow in 16th. Gerald Poole 17th. Andrew Forrester in 18th. Mike Burgess back on track in 19th. Jeff Oates just came past 12th place Mike Harris, putting him a lap down. In 11th place, Jerry Bergeron just ahead. He goes a lap down. Oaks has definitely got this car and track combo figured out. Derek Schilling in second. Now has to worry about the Mark Nelson one more time. Mark now 1.3 seconds back. Lap traffic coming into play for Schilling. This is where Schilling was beating Mark earlier in the race out of the final turn. Last time by, Mark beat him through turn one. Jeff Oaks, though, still beating everybody as he comes out of the S's. Oh, Jeff started blinking. The leader is blinking with a lap and a half to go. That is not a good feeling. Derek Schilling in second. Mark Nelson in third. Likely smell blood in the water. Oaks starting to blink again. Schilling has gained almost a second as he goes by Bergeron. Mark Nelson in third, still right there with him. Bergeron moves wide, lets Mark by. Jess Chambers in fourth. Had Pete Norquay closing the gap a lap or two ago. Norquay has lost a lot of ground since then. Now almost 13 seconds back. Daryl Klotz back in sixth. Still gaining ground on Norquay, but still 12 and a half back. Not likely to have time to get there. White flag is in the air one more time around for Jeff Oaks. Will his back tires hold? Will his connection hold? Will he show off his mad drifting skills on the last lap? Whoa, he gets a slide on there. Oaks' lead still 6 1/4 seconds. Mark Nelson 1.5 seconds back from Schilling in third. Mike Harris back in 12th, about to catch 11th place Jerry Bergeron. Warren Moore also in that fight in 13th. And it appears Jeff Oaks has backed off the last lap or so, has given up another second, his lead about 5.9 seconds. Definitely taking it a little easier to make sure he makes it to the end. Hey, good evening, Pat. Oh, another little drift out of Oaks on the power. He really drifts it through that one. I have never seen a road course race quite like Jeff Oaks has done it tonight. Through the penultimate corner, he goes wide. Has to give up a little time, it doesn't matter. Through the final turn, Jeff Oaks drifts to victory here at COTA. Derek Schilling holds off Mark Nelson, comes home in second. The Mark Nelson finishes third. And let's talk to our top three, starting with the Mark Nelson. The Mark Nelson, that was an impressive run tonight, bud.
Is it? It didn't feel impressive.
To come home top three when you had a problem mid-race, and the battle with you and Schilling, the back and forth, that was definitely some exciting stuff.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. I am pretty humiliated after the way that I drove there. I just couldn't get this dang car to quit wheel hopping into those really slow corners, and if I could have just quit making mistakes, I would have had a chance, but nope, beat myself.
Well, on the upside, you can go trucking, Angie will make you laugh, and you'll feel a lot better.
Yeah, at least I'll be good at something tonight. My gosh, this was tough, man. So I think I used my concentration for the month from this. But yeah, congrats to Jeff, man. Good for him.
That was definitely an awesome race, buddy. Congratulations.
Thanks, Doug.
Mark Nelson coming home in third. Derek Schilling finishes in second. Derek, you guys put on a heck of a show in the battling between you and Mark. That was a lot of back and forth there.
That was a lot of work, I'll tell you.
That is the same thing he said. Tonight has definitely been a workout. You could tell the cars were just such a handful, and it was really hard. Most of the field was struggling to be consistent and get the same corner entry and exit every lap.
Yeah, these cars, it's just, I like road course racing, just in something that belongs on a road course, not a brick. These things, they were rough. I knew in order to try and have a good points day, I just needed to be consistent. But I really want to beat Jeff and Mark at some point in time. Last week, I got interviewed for third place, so now I'm second. So next time I talk to you, hopefully it's from the win.
Well, hopefully so, man. That was quite a run. At points, you were running Jeff down. You had an amazing race, buddy. Congratulations.
Thanks to you for doing the broadcast once again. I love going back and watching it.
My pleasure, buddy. Great job tonight.
Thank you.
Looking to see, we do not have our winner, Jeff Oakes, available. We'll give him a minute to hop in here. Hopefully he does, because I really want to ask him about that. His driving here, that was a thing of beauty. I gotta say, that was a lot of drifting. That is not something you see on a road course very often. Richie Joplin and Angie saying happy birthday. Richie, you're telling Mark Nelson, great job. Mark obviously got some fans, but Jeff Oakes likely got a few new fans here tonight. He put on one heck of a show. Let him get his burnout in. Hopefully he'll hop in here with us. Man, I'm surprised Oakes has any rear tire left. That is an impressive burnout for as much drifting as he did tonight. Wow. I'm just surprised he has enough tire left to pull that. And he is not stopping. That's got to be one of the best celebratory burnouts we have ever seen here. And I guess he's going to try and do a burnout around the whole lap. I'm not sure. Or maybe... Nope, car just gave out. We'll give him a few seconds, see if he hops in here. Hopefully we get to have a word with him. But man, that race definitely did not disappoint. One of the most exciting races we've ever announced at COTA. Will have a bit of an impact on the points as Derek Schilling beat Mark Nelson tonight. It does not look like we are going to get a word with our winner tonight. So congratulations to Jeff Oakes on the win and the epic drifts he put on out there tonight. That was some impressive driving. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget, Angie will be live in just a few moments with the HTSAI Community Convoy. If you're on ATS, go join her. She's already in the truck driving around. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you guys this weekend. Have a great night, everybody.